Hey guys, so I decided I would like to do a little vlog about alcohol-free me. Now, for those of you who know, maybe you don't know, I gave up alcohol for a year for charity, and this was a little while ago. The vlogs are still up on my YouTube channel, and I've noticed quite a lot that people are still watching them, are still kind of commenting on them and talking to me about everything that happened. So I know I did a vlog, you know, a couple months after actually finishing, you know, stopping drinking for a year. And it's a little while after that. And a lot of the time people kind of ask me whether I'm still drinking, if I've quit drinking, sort of what my situation is. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a vlog just to explain a little bit about, you know, after quite some time after it all happened, like what I took away from the whole experience. So, well, first of all, it left quite a lasting impression on me. Probably just in the timeline was, after it finished, I spent the best part of the year afterwards going for like catch-up drinks with people, which lasted for ages. It was like a year of catch-up drinks. And I remember going into that year thinking, right, well, I don't need alcohol at all now. I'm completely immune. I don't need alcohol. I can just live my life, etc. And then you sort of go for a year of catch-up drinks, and you sort of get back into the routine of drinking normally again as you go through your week. And I think I came to a point where I felt sort of slightly annoyed with myself that, you know, I'd done this cool thing of giving up for a year, and I felt like I'd learnt nothing, because here I am kind of back in these regular patterns of drinking again. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted to be different. I wanted to be affected by it, because obviously it was only for a year, and it wasn't, you know, me being an addict and needing to give up. As I appreciate some people have problems with alcohol, and it's good for them just to stop and just to cut it out. But for me, it wasn't because it was a problem. It was just because I wanted to do this cool thing for charity. And although I did like to drink, I wouldn't say that I had a problem. It didn't affect my work. But then I suppose, you know, you could argue alcohol affects everybody and it affects everybody's life in some way. And I do kind of agree with that. Only in that now I'm at a point where I don't really drink that much. And I haven't completely given up drinking because, see, for me personally, and this isn't right for everybody, but for me personally, I don't really feel in life you should just cut something out. I mean, obviously heroin is not great. Don't do it. Cut it out. I'm talking about other general other things, is, you know, cutting out sugar or cutting out, you know, whatever the thing is. I don't feel like you should just completely always cut things out of your diet and cut things out of your life, unless it's like for medical reasons. And I don't know, it's just that sort of weird, like, a thing coming down saying, no, I'm not going to do that. And I didn't want it to be that, to not drink to excess. I needed just to not have it in my life, and that was it. Well, that's it. That's me and drinking, never again. Because you know what? I'm stronger than that, and I felt that I was able to have a balance where I can drink and, you know, do what I want to do and not feel that it affects my life, but not just get rid of it completely. So it's tricky because, you know, living in London, everything is centered around alcohol. Like, if you don't live here, you just don't, I don't think you can truly understand what it's like in kind of English culture. It's, you go down the pub with your mates, that's what you do. What else do you do? Or you go to the shops. These are things that people do. And one of the biggest things I took away from doing this in the whole year was being comfortable having a good time sober, because you're just so used to always being a bit wasted, and finding things that you genuinely enjoy doing. Because one of the biggest things I suppose I took away was that, you know, with alcohol, you could make the worst night in the world seem like the greatest night in the world, because if you drink enough booze, you just don't care. And actually, what fundamentally you're having is a crap night. You're having a crap night out, but you've convinced yourself by numbing your senses that it was good. And the one good thing, if you're sober, is that you don't put up with a crap night out. You're like, this is crap. let's do something else. Let's go somewhere else. I'm gonna get my phone out and find something interesting to do. And you don't put up with it so much. And it's made me search for more interesting things to do with my spare time, with wanting to go out, or just being around people I really like and really, you know, I could just spend time with sober and walk away from the whole experience being like, that was a lovely time. Because, come on, like, we all have those friends who are, if you hang out with them sober, you're a bit like, oh my God. Like, give me strength. Like, they're just either boring or irritating or anger you or frustrate you or something. And they're kind of like fair weather party friends, and you'll go out with them when you're having a night out and they're a great laugh, but in reality, not good friends, just not good friends. So cutting those out is really, really useful. You know, you need to be able to know you can spend time. That's, I mean, that's a true testament to friend. You can spend time with them sober and you have just as much fun as if you were drinking. That's the true friend, like right there. So yeah, just getting a bit more in tune with what I actually enjoy doing. I found it really hard to answer that question, like, what do you want to do in your spare time? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I mean, there's stuff I do, you know, play games, like watching films, going to the city, you know, like normal things. But to really sit down and think, like, what do I actually want to do with my time? And then doing that. The other biggest thing, I think, well, this is what it comes down to, right? If you want to drink, you have to be aware of what you lose by drinking. Now, if you have depression or any kind of mental health issues, it's just the worst. It's the stupidest thing. I don't want to say it like that. Like, we all have momentary, you know, things, but it's just not going to help you in the long run. It really isn't. It just, drinking to excess and drinking that much, it just doesn't help you in the long run. It really messes up with your head and your insides and your body and everything. It's just, there are better things you could do to make yourself feel better. Sorry, I just had to have a drink. My mouth is really getting dry, sorry. You know, finding what you love to do when you're sober, finding something that really brings you passion and joy is so, so important. And realizing what you sacrifice for drinking. So what you sacrifice is the potential of having a really good night out or a fun time that you cherish a lot more. And second of all, it always just made me rubbish for like a day or two afterwards. All of the best laid plans of things I wanted to do, place I want to go, or, you know, people I needed to see. I was really flaky. It just made me really flaky, and I hate being flaky because I'm really like, I hate it when people do that to me. It's a really terrible thing. It's disrespectful. I don't want to do that to other people and just not show up or not be bothered, or, you know, not be bothered to put time into my own life, you know. And again, I had like this whole extra day out of the week that I never knew existed. It was like an extra day of the week that I could do whatever I wanted to do. And it was amazing. I got so much done. So now I've realized that, you know, with what I want to do in my life and the things I'd love to achieve and the ambition that I have to kind of push myself forward in my career and what I do and my passions, there's got to be a push and pull somewhere. You know, if you're having one thing, you're going to lose something else. And I said to myself, you know what, one of the things I could cut out that would make my life more productive and better is alcohol. And like I say, I haven't completely cut it out of my life. I just am way more choosy about when I drink and when I don't drink. Normally when you go to like games journo events or whatever, you turn up, you see a game or it's an event or whatever, and there's beers there and it's free and all this sort of stuff, and you think, oh, I'll just have some beers. Now I sort of go out and I think, like, I don't really need it. I'm quite enjoying talking to people. I get to play a game I haven't played before, and that's interesting. And I want to talk to people about that and the experiences that I've had, and actually having a beer doesn't make that better or worse, so I don't drink. And then, you know, there are obviously kind of blowout evenings where, you know, you'll go out and, you know, friends you haven't seen for ages, and you'll have more than just a few drinks, and that's okay. And that's all right once in a while, you know, but just not every weekend, because every weekend it just trashes all the things you want to do. And like for me, it's someone who's like suffers from depression, and I'm, you know, that's always a potential thing that could happen. I feel rubbish, and then I feel annoyed that I feel rubbish, and then I don't eat well or take care of myself, and then I get annoyed at that, and it's like this sort of spiral where you just sort of by the end of the week, you're just like, I hate everything. And it's all kind of spiraled from this one moment. And if you don't need it, then why put yourself through that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. The other little trick that I've learned is that beer and vodka, which are usually the things that I love to drink, and I do still love to drink them, beer and vodka are the ones that bring out the worst side of Drinky Julia. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not an aggressive drunk, I'm not angry drunk, I'm more of a like stupid and does stupid, silly things to make people laugh kind of drunk, you know, it's ha, don't fall off that thing. But alcohol, like vodka and beer are the ones that tend to bring out that the little thing that makes you want to drink more, the little gremlin in your head. And what I discovered was, I've been forced really recently to drink wine. Never liked it. I'm never going to drink red wine, it's never going to happen, it tastes so disgusting I can't even explain. Oh, you just haven't had a nice one. And then they make you drink a nice one. It tastes disgusting. It's just, no, never gonna happen. But I have been drinking some rather nice white wines. I sound like my mum. Oh my God. Okay, some rather nice white wines. And actually, it's such a different kind of little bit of tipsy. It's so weird. So I can have like a couple of glasses of wine and it doesn't make me want to drink an entire bottle of wine. I'm like, is there alcohol in this? Why don't I want to just finish all of the alcohol that's there in one go? What's this thing? I could stop and I don't mind and it's not someone telling me to do it? Ooh, it's really weird. So I've kind of made a rule with myself that if I go out, I try and drink wine. And what I've realized is I have a glass of wine and then I'm like, oh, that was a nice glass of wine. And then I stop. So, I mean, I don't know whether that's going to work for everyone, but I found that was a really, really useful skill. And if that helps some other people out there kind of, you know, reduce what they're drinking, then hopefully that's, you know, that's a good thing. I don't know. I think, yeah, it's about balance. It's about finding out what's right for you. And there's no hard and fast and right and wrong way. And I don't think just saying nobody should drink is a solution, and I don't think saying everyone should drink is the solution either, because at the end of the day we are all individuals, we're all completely different, we all have our own personal demons, we all have things that we need to work on, and saying somebody's right or wrong for choosing a path for them that's unique to them is just stupid. It's just stupid. You know, you can say, well, I found that this worked for me and that's right for me, and share that. That's cool, of course, because you know you want to help people, and if it's helped you, maybe it helps someone else. But there's not one solution for everybody. And you know, whatever journey you're on with alcohol, that sounds really weird, whatever journey you're on and whatever solution that you find that's right for you, that keeps you, that makes you the happiest, is the right one. Okay, like that makes you truly happy. I'm not talking about drunk happy, because drunk happy is fleeting happy. It's all you're doing is borrowing tomorrow's happy for tonight. You're like getting a loan of happy, and then you got to pay it back the next day, and actually you could have used some happy the next day. But so, you know, if someone's out there kind of telling you what's right, what's wrong, ask yourself what makes you truly happy. What gives you the kind of longest term satisfaction in your life, you know? And for me, really sadly, things like working out really, really help just keep me happy. You know, I feel good, I feel like muscly and solid, and it makes me feel happy through the day to feel good about how my body feels when I move around. It sounds really weird, but that makes me happy. You know, spending times with my friends and family, that's like quality time, that makes me really happy. And I think back to those times and that makes me happy. In terms of energy put in to happiness reward, they are small input to like really big output, you know? So for the time and energy you put in, you get so much more out of it, you know? And doing things that move your life forward, you know, maybe you've always dreamed of doing something and you can't find the time, but you know what, if you're going out drinking on a Saturday night and wasting half of Sunday being hungover, that's time you could be spending making your life incredible and really like the life you've always dreamed of, you know? and making that life you've always dreamed of and succeeding in something that you've got a lot of passion for, whatever that is, man, you are buzzed. You're buzzed all the time. It's ridiculous. It's so much better than an alcohol buzz. You feel not smug, but just, you feel like you made the right decisions. You're proud of yourself. And that is a feeling that you carry with you all day, you know. Whereas alcohol, something, it's just such a fleeting moment. And you've got to pay for it afterwards, you know. So, in conclusion, balance. Finding out what's right for you and sticking to it if it makes you happy and you can get everything that you want out of your life. That's the solution. So the solution is, there is no specific solution. It's like a Channel 5 documentary. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. I thought it'd be really interesting, maybe, to find out kind of where I'm at after the whole thing. And it's quite, you know, God, it's a year. No, it's maybe, yeah, it's quite a long time afterwards. When was it? Can't remember. It's a long time afterwards. And I have taken all these kind of good things away from it. And I have found a good, happy place where I am. And I'm not saying everyone should have to give up alcohol for a year, but honestly, you learn so much about yourself. You really, really do. And just being happy in your own skin is definitely worth all the effort. So I need to stop talking. This is really long as usual. I'm so sorry. Yeah, do comment below. I'd be really interested to kind of hear about where you guys are at, or whether you found any of this remotely helpful, or I'm just talking to a void, which wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, cool. All right. I never know how to end vlogs. It's just awkward. Go out on a song?